Hello and welcome to the We Only Read the Pictures podcast. My name's Mike.
I'm Darren.
We're going to talk about all the films we've seen over the last couple of weeks, and we're going to have an in-depth discussion about Logan. This will include spoilers, and we'll also discuss a rewrite that I've made of how I feel the film should have gone.
Yeah, that ought to be good. I look forward to
Darren hasn't
critiquing it.
Darren hasn't heard it yet, so
okay.
Yeah.
This sounds pretty interesting, shall we say? So as always, we obviously record a lot of stuff on Letterboxd. Follow us there, links in the description, etc. So let's just get talking about since we're talking about movies. Let's start with Logan. So, okay, what did you've written a rewrite? What's your general thoughts on Logan?
I like the whole concept of the story.
Yeah, concept was great.
The concept was great. I thought the acting, the performances from both Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart were great. I like the themes it was trying to address, but I was disappointed in terms of the script and how they were executed. It feels like they were being set up and not fully followed through. In terms of the action, I'm very glad that they went for a very much more violent. The violence is completely up with the R rating and the blood, and I really liked it. But yeah, generally, it was a bit of a disappointing script, and that's why I've made a rewrite.
Yeah, I mean, essentially my flaws are pretty similar. It's a great idea, obviously based on a really, all my Logan is a respected comic. I thought it was a great idea. I think it's the best Wolverine film of the individual films, but overall, I think it's like an average X-Men film because I think although it's different, it has flaws. It has the same problems of the Wolverine because it's a bad villain. The final act falls apart. Like some of the other bits don't quite come together. I think the violence, I'm glad it's R-rated. I have problems with the violence nonetheless. Not like morally, but just like I think it's badly used. But yeah, I agree. It's the writing that lets it down. You mentioned Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, but I actually have to also call out Daphne Keane as X-23 is superb. Absolutely, she as a child actress, she's gone right in my mind as like one of the leading child actors of now. Stephen Merchant as Caliban. Is an amusing one because like when he first turns up, I was just like, oh, this is just Stephen Merchant. But then once he really got into it, I really got into his character. So
yeah, I thought it was an okay character, but it was funny. Brought a little bit of humour to the film. But my issue with him is he does to me. I was just watching him saying, "You're there for exposition. You're there for some of the dialogue. It's only because you're saying this, and he becomes a very useful plot convenience for the plot later."
Okay, well, we're going to talk more Logan later. Let's just move on to other stuff that's currently playing in cinemas. So this weekend I went to go see Elle, which is the new Paul Verhoeven movie. Paul Verhoeven is the master of just perverse, weird cinema. Well, not weird, but just he's pretty taboo in his topics. And what Elle is essentially is a rape and revenge thriller. But
very good subject. Yeah.
Good subject, but he does it in an interesting way. It isn't just that. It's a lot more. It's very twisted. It's very weird. It's very edgy. Premiered at Cannes last year to nothing but great reviews. I mean, one of the best reviewed films of 2016, and it received an Oscar nomination for Best Actress, which funny today, by the way, Isabelle Huppert, obviously classic French actress, in a role that's significantly less classy than usual. Her character is quite classy, but some of the sexual exploits are a bit weird. It's not an easy watch. It's very graphic. It's very disturbing, but it's definitely worth watching. I think I really enjoyed it. Well, I didn't think it was perfect, but if you're into weird stuff, it's good.
Where would you say Isabelle Huppert's performance ranks among the Best Actress nominations?
So I think she's definitely better than Emma Stone. I still think Natalie Portman should have won. Okay. I think Isabelle Huppert, she would have been if I had been. I think it's a fair nomination. I don't think she deserves to win.
Right.
I hear a lot of people saying that she's the one that deserves to win. I disagree. I do think she isn't as good as Natalie Portman, because Natalie Portman I think is a bit more to her role than Jackie, because I think she's doing a performance of someone pretending to not be what they are. So I think she got double layers. Isabelle Huppert here is just playing a woman who's really well developed and really interestingly defined, with loads of nasty and well, not nasty, but loads of loads of scenes which are like really hands-on to play with, and hands-on in like very literal sense in some ways. So yeah, I mean well put it this way. I mean it's a return. It's a kind of a return for Paul Verhoeven. I mean he hasn't made a film in 10 years, and he hasn't done like a he spent 20 years in Hollywood. This is him going back to his roots, apart from his making a film in a language he doesn't speak. But I mean, aside from that, it's all good.
Next film, Kong, Skull Island, which...
Okay, yeah, so I saw... So this is another film that I saw that you didn't.
Yeah.
But this was like... So, Kong Skull Island. It's interesting. I mean, it's not good, for starters. It's interesting because it looked so good. Well, not so good. It looked good in the sense of it...
Visually.
Yeah, visually it looks great. So, right, it seems like it's like going to be like just a B movie, right? It's like a B movie, monsters fighting. You get into it, it is a B movie with monsters fighting, but then there's all this like stuff about war. Okay, it's set during Vietnam. So Vietnam War ends, and then Samuel L. Jackson is a head of like an army group, and they go off to the Skull Island and meet Kong and get involved and stuff.
So wait, so you say it's set after Vietnam?
Yeah, 1973. So Vietnam.
Okay.
The film opened with Vietnam War ending, and then Samuel L. Jackson is sent by the US government to go to Skull Island,
right,
with a bunch of scientists and a bunch of more people, and then they go there and they meet Kong. So it's all, and the whole thing is like an Apocalypse Now aesthetic. So it's all like helicopters and napalm, and but the problem with it is that it's all style, no substance.
Okay.
Because you have all of this like references, like there's like references like Akira, like one of the characters on his jacket's an Akira reference. There's the director talks about his anime love. There's a whole Ghibli vibe to it.
Right.
It's just full of references, but no substance to it. All the characters are one note. They don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
The action is kind of lame. Like it's just standard. And what makes this all the more disappointing is that the Godzilla film that this is in the same universe as is much better. And I watched Godzilla 1 week ago as well, so I came in with Godzilla fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
And this is not that. So Godzilla's a restrained movie where the monster doesn't turn up until like later on, and it's all about building the characters, and then it's gritty and realistic. This is just dumb, and not dumb fun, but like dumb to the point where it's stupid.
And annoying.
And annoying. Like, I wouldn't mind it being a totally dumb movie, but then it throws in these things like, oh, war sucks. Oh, look, he's broken by war. And I go, no, just be dumb. Either be dumb or talk about war. Don't, attempt both, because you fail.
Because I was just curious about the different time frame, how it is different to Godzilla. So, yeah, that was just what struck me. Didn't realise about it.
I mean, in many ways, it's actually a prequel, because... so there's an organisation in Godzilla called Monarch, who are the Godzilla experts.
Yeah.
Right? And Kong Skull Island, this isn't a spoiler, it opens with Monarch arranging the trip to Skull Island. So and there's a post-credit scene at the end of Kong Skull Island that links it directly to Godzilla.
Right.
But not in a way that's a side to the plot, so this isn't spoilers, I'm not spoiling the film. It is linked to Godzilla, but it's minorly linked. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I mean, I can't see other than... Cause if it was different time frames, then it'd be hard to...
But what's pretty clear about it is that, like, this is... So now in this universe, they've met Kong in the 70s, they met Godzilla in 2014, so presumably in the next movies, now they can have Kong now and Godzilla now.
You'd think, yeah.
You'd think that'll be a logical extension to this.
I don't know, what is the next film in the Monsters universe?
Godzilla 2.
Godzilla 2.
I think it's called Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is a tribute to the original, one of the Godzilla sequels, which is called Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Right.
I think on US release. And then they've got Godzilla vs. Kong in 2020.
2020? Oh.
Yeah. I mean, to put it this way, right, they have one good part of a franchise, one bad part of a franchise. Who knows whether or not it's going to stack up.
Yeah.
Let's move on, because I've talked way too long about Kong, which is a movie I didn't like, onto a movie that I love.
Raging Bull.
Raging Bull. We both saw this in the cinema, BFI re-release.
Yeah.
just shout out to the BFI. They do great re-releases all the time.
Yeah. It's my first time seeing it.
Yeah, this is my second or third. No, second. Yeah, second. What did you think? Because
Okay, so initially I was quite surprised because for me, in terms of Scorsese, all I've seen was Wolf of Wall Street, Silence, and Goodfellas. And I was surprised that Raging Bull was not felt very different in terms of it wasn't as fast paced or high energy plot, which is what I was used to Scorsese giving me. And so I was like, oh, this is very, so it was a lot more quieter, a bit more slow, and that made me feel so that was my initial thoughts at the beginning of the movie. I thought, this is a bit slow. Like, do I like this? Do I not like this?
Yeah.
But then when it got to the boxing scenes, which I think are absolutely fantastic, and definitely no question, best boxing scene, best shot about boxing scene. The cinematography is amazing. I was really hooked into it, and especially after sort of later parts of the film, of the story, when when Robert De Niro's dealing with his wife and brother and all that kind of stuff. All those relationships and characters really shine through, and I really loved it from that. So I like the black and white, obviously.
I mean,
what else there's to say?
I mean, so this is like, I've seen so much Scorsese films, but this is like one of like I mean like double figures for Scorsese. This is my favourite Scorsese film, and I think it's the pinnacle of his career for a plethora of reasons. I think the first reason why it's his best film is because it's his film which I think is the most perfect crafted. In terms of sheer skill of filmmaking, he never has been better. All of the cinematography, all of the editing, all of the framing, all of the shots, every single aspect of Raging Bull is perfect. Now, there is problems with the script, and I think some of the acting from some of the supporting roles is meh.
Okay, yeah,
but
that's fair.
In terms of direction, Scorsese could not have made it better. The fight scenes are so well done, and I want to just call out Thelma Schumacher, who is the editor.
Right.
I think Raging Bull is in the top 10 best edited films of all time. The editing during the fight scenes is insanely good. Yeah. Every single cut is on emotion. It makes you feel every punch, every hit. It makes you really, really gripping, and I just love how the entire thing feels. Secondly, I mean, it's a great character study. I think Scorsese is the expert at depicting bad people. I think it has his themes that he always does, but in subtle ways. So he has Catholicism and Catholic guilt as a theme in a lot of his films. Raging Bull isn't overtly that, but we see that the main character is clearly Catholic, or at least Christian, implied Catholic, and we see that he struggles with guilt. He struggles with guilt to some extent. Like, we see these things in subtler ways in Raging Bull, and I feel like we have the gangsters, and Scorsese is known as a gangster director. I think incorrectly, but he's known as a gangster director, and the gangsters in Raging Bull have minor supporting roles, but they play a big impact on the film in the sense of they provide that threat, they provide that sense that our character is involved with bad people. Scorsese is much subtler in Raging Bull than he is in any other film. He's so perfect in his craft that even if it's not necessarily my personal favourite, I think it's probably his best.
Okay.
And by the way, for the record, it's like my joint favourite, so.
Fair enough. Yeah. The only sort of comparison you can sort of make is with Rocky, the other.
Yeah.
Grateful. And I was thinking, which one do I prefer? And I don't know, because I've definitely, you have to say hands down that Raging Bull is better directed and better shot, etc. But personally, I still like the character of Rocky and his struggles. Yeah. I prefer that, just the whole underdog storyline.
Yeah.
That's what I slightly prefer to Rob De Niro's, what was the character's name?
Jake
LaMotta, yeah. That's my personal preference.
It
just feels there's so much more heart and soul. There's not so much, but there's just a load of heart and soul in Rocky.
I think Rocky definitely moved to play on the heartstrings a little bit. I feel like Raging Bull is just intense, beating. Like, it really does feel a bit grueling at times. To me, there's no question. I think Raging Bull is just a much better film. Well, I say much better. I actually really like Rocky as a film. I think the sequels to Rocky I haven't seen, but I can't imagine them matching the first one. But to me, Raging Bull is definitely superior. But they're both the two biggest boxing movies ever, of the thousands that have been made. So, or probably not thousands, hundreds. Okay, so let's move on to another film.
Yeah.
What have you seen then?
So I saw this Bollywood film, and unfortunately I can't remember how to pronounce the film. But
Good start.
Kal Ho Naa Ho, whatever it is. It was made in 2003. Stars that massive Bollywood actor, what's his name? Whatever his name is.
Okay.
This is really bad start.
Yeah.
I really loved it. It was the first Bollywood film I've ever seen. I thought it was really funny.
That's one more than me.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny. Had great characters. It is rom-com. It has fun musical songs and dance sequences. And I mean, it's about 3 hours. It's 3 hours, just over 3 hours long. But towards the end, because it starts as just being, it feels like just a bit of a rom-com, but then it just goes down a very emotional, sort of sad direction, which really hit me. And like for spending all that time with those characters, and then it gets to a point which I can't really say for spoilers, that it did make me just feel really sad. And I think we say that Bollywood films are more, but always talk about love and all that stuff. Yeah. It is about love, but I think it's got something more. It's actually got something to say about love. Yeah. It's got something substantial, thematic, really strong. Yeah. So I really recommend it as a first.
Yeah, I mean, so as someone who hasn't seen anything by Bollywood, but by the way, I do need to because I am massively ignorant of cinema. Like I say this all the time. I feel like sure I've seen tons of films from tons of countries, but I'm bad on Bollywood. Do you think that? So you really like it? But do you think that's going to be like? That means you're going to like more Bollywood, or do you reckon it's like an outsider? It's like the one you think's great and all the others are worse?
I've heard it's one of the better received ones.
Right.
So I don't know how others are going to compare.
And then the other question would be, do you think it is... So it's better received. Do you think that means it's better received in the West? So does that mean it's more westernized? Do you reckon other Bollywood films are more, let's say, distinctly Indian, or do you reckon they're all going to be similar?
I'm not sure, because I mean the setting of this one is set in New York, so it has that. But it still has themes about. So you have sort of 3 generations, and the older ones is obviously have strict sort of Indian belief, all those religious beliefs, and then most of the attention is focuses on the younger generation, who are sort of young adults, and the middle generation is sort of that thing in a gap gauge generation in between, that who moved to New York and sort of adopted some more Christianity, and that kind of stuff. I don't know the differences in how well received. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But there's another point I'd like to say is the music. I did enjoy as well. Some of the music's really nice. Not just the songs, but the score as well. I think it's a good film to watch. But I don't. It's hard to say. That's the only Bollywood film I've seen. I don't know what the others are like. So it's hard for me to judge or to compare.
I mean, I do really want to watch Bollywood. What I want to watch more actually is parallel cinema, which is the Indian movement from the 50s and 60s. Because I really want to get onto that train, but I'll watch them at some point. Okay, so let's talk about another film that was playing in cinemas recently and might still be playing, The Great Wall. Mm-hmm. So basically,
Trump's favourite film, Donald Trump's
favourite
film.
Yes. It's essentially a Chinese film, but they shoehorned in American actors to money.
Sell it.
It's dumb. It's fucking stupid. It's the most ridiculous, ludicrous piece of cinema I've seen in maybe in the last it's the stupidest film I've seen in the cinema
since Transformers.
But despite all this, right? Despite the fact it is I don't think you could write a stupider film. I thought it was damn entertaining. I genuinely thought it zipped along, it was fine, it was fun. I didn't think it was a bad movie because I felt like it was knowingly stupid. And that's the difference between that and like films that are self-serious. This wasn't self-serious. This knew it was dumb, and it just was dumb. And I enjoyed it all the way through.
I think I was laughing at it, but
Like,
laughing at how bad like some of the action was, and how bad some of the CGI looked.
Yes.
It just looked. No, that didn't look right. That just.
Oh, and Matt Damon, like, career low performance. And then Willem Dafoe, who I really like, turns up and looks like he looks like he doesn't care. He looks like he's died inside and he's only doing it for the paycheck.
I think it just has some like the character arcs or moments are just the most cheesiest ones you could come up with. Like,
yeah, and like, I mean, yeah, and and every single plot point is predictable and forced, and like the bad guys are just monsters, like with no real character. They just stab monsters for 2 hours. I've had nice. It's quite short. It's not like an hour and 40.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like I wouldn't recommend it as a good film, but I would say if your standards aren't too high, if you aren't too picky,
and you want something dumb to
you like it's probably the best film per dumb quality of the last like 3 months. Like it's definitely just fine.
Yeah, I do love Matt Damon when he was interviewed about it. It was like, yeah, it's just like a popcorn monster movie that you could enjoy, and I'm like, yeah, you mean it's shit, basically.
Exactly. So one other thing that I've been doing recently is I've been doing like a David Lynch binge, you know, the director.
Yeah.
So I have never been a fan of David Lynch because I don't like surrealism. I think surrealism is just like why be random for the sake of being random? So I previously seen Dune, which just a mess, and I previously seen Mulholland Drive and just was like, don't get why people love this. So I did a binge 2 weeks ago, and I watched Eraserhead, Blue Velvet, Wild at Heart, Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, and I had an epiphany. I was wrong. He's a good director, possibly a great director. So they're all great to varying extents. The ones I want to really call out, I thought Blue Velvet was just so interesting, so rich. I thought Wild at Heart was incredibly fun. Right, Nick Cage, right, plays this dude who has a snakeskin coat, sings Elvis songs, and just fucks like this southern chick who spends the entire film talking about like how horny she is. It's ridiculous. And by the way, he hallucinates Wizard of Oz stuff all the way through. And then Willem Dafoe turns up at one point, and I don't know what he's doing. But fun. Mulholland Drive, which I previously thought was overrated, really hit me this time. Like that was just amazing. I really misread that film. I posted in-depth reviews on Letterboxd, so please check them out if you care. But oh my god, I've changed my mind. I've had an epiphany. Proves that we can be wrong. So there we go.
Okay, I haven't got much to say, so should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, go on.
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh yeah, we both watched this independently.
Independently, yeah, but I watched this with my girlfriend, so
Okay. Yeah, I just.
So it was a very. I mean, I didn't like it. It's just. I don't know. I just. What to say about? I found it was so stupid, cringy.
Yeah.
The dialogue was just laughable at so many times.
Yeah.
Things. Just lines. When you have lines like, "I don't make love, I fuck hard."
Oh god. Yeah, that's bad. That's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
This is 50 Shades of fucked up. Whatever that may mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So I mean, it's bad. Okay. It's not good.
But you like the direction of it.
Well, here's the thing. I want to throw in The Great Wall as an example here. This 50 Shades is that sort of thing, right? It's terrible, but in terms of what you're getting, if you want softcore porn that's mildly romantic, right? And you went fussy, right? 50 Shades of Grey will do it for you. It's fine. I sat there and I went, you know what? I reckon if I was a bit more into this, it'd be fine, right? I really wasn't into it. I was just pretty much bored. But it wasn't terrible. I've seen much worse. I think the problems with the problems are the source material. The biggest problem is the source material just sucks.
Yeah, agreed.
It's so badly written, it's so sloppy that clearly they tried to get a good screenwriter in, and then E.L. James just fucked it and demanded on putting all the shit back in. it's so like watered down. If you want proper sex, it's not like everything is just like filtered through like cuts. That you see like you see the guy's torso, never, but you see tons of tits. Like I don't really know who the audience is, but I mean, I would have thought they wanted less tits.
Imagine the female.
Yeah, but I'd have thought they wanted less tits. Oh, and there's no dick as well, which once again is like, I mean, surely that's why people are there.
See some of his pubes though, I think.
Yeah, for like 2 frames or something. And also it's just really problematic because it's a terrible depiction of BDSM. It also is one of those things that implies that the only reason you could ever be into BDSM is because there's something wrong with you. Like, oh, you had like a shit childhood. It couldn't just be, you've got a fetish. No, you have to have like a problem.
Yeah.
That needs fixing by a woman. Like, okay. Like, and that's not to say that a woman fixing something is bad, but that's to say, why does it have to be like romantic? Why can't they just both be into BDSM? Why can't that be a thing?
I don't know. It's just a really problematic relationship concept, really.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Your review on Letterboxd, goes into a lot more.
Yeah, I have detailed expansion on all of these points.
And it's your longest review, is that right?
It might be. It's up there.
Yeah.
You
had a lot to say. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that got me is I read a story which was in an interview. For the audition, Dakota Johnson had to read a scene from one of my all-time favorite movies, Persona, which is in like my top 10 films of all time. And the irony is, Persona is a 1966 film.
Yeah.
Right? And this film is in black and white and is about 2 women just like sat talking. Oh no, one of them's silent. One woman talking to another woman for 90 minutes. Right? And this film is more graphic because it contains an erect penis. Right? And despite the fact that there's no one having sex, is way more erotic. It's a 1966 film about people talking. How is this more erotic than your softcore porno? What is this?
Yeah.
It's so just mess. Mess.
Next film.
Okay, so yeah, this is just something. This is quick. I watched The Double Life of Veronique. So it's a French-Polish film from 1990. It's by Kieslowski, who made the Three Colours trilogy. So Red, Blue, White. I like this a lot. I think it's like matches his Three Colours trilogy. I don't know if I don't know if I prefer it to the Three Colours trilogy or not, but it's up there. The basic premise: girl called Veronica lives in Poland. Girl called Veronique lives in France. They are the same person, but they don't know about each other's existence.
Right. Okay.
They just and they just do stuff. They they just like, and they don't meet. Well, at one point they sort of see each other. That's it. They don't like meet, and that's basically it. It's an interesting film. It's very artsy. It's very dense. It's one of those films that's imagery after imagery after imagery. Not really sure what it all means, but it was interesting. So going on to another film that we both watched, rather than just me again. Birdman. So we watched this a few weeks ago. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it was a frustrating watch because I think like midway through the film, because I mean if you didn't know, it's the film that won Best Picture in 2014, was it?
Yes, 2014 Best Picture.
And looks like it's all been done in one shot.
Yeah.
That's the sort of big sort of gimmick.
Yeah,
and features Michael Keaton playing a struggling actor, or an actor who was previously a movie star and trying to get his career back, come back. And I think halfway through the film, I think we both had a moment say, well, I sort of said, about the long takes, like, why? Why are we having this long take? Like, it doesn't add anything. It's distracting. I mean, the thing is, I got used to it towards the end, sort of midway through.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, why? I mean, I don't feel it's a good long take. Like, it's not. I mean, sometimes not. Some of it's nice when it's like going through different rooms in a building. It looks nice, but it's just not what a good long take to me. Like, I compare it to some of the long takes that Paul Thomas Anderson does.
Yeah.
And there's like those just feel nice. They, and they're there and they're used appropriately. And this just isn't.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing that Birdman struck me with was not only is the long take incredibly well, with the long take specifically, I was thinking the thing I got with it is that, like, it's clearly 16 long takes edited to look like one.
Yeah.
And the thing I got with it, I sat there going, I've been watching a fair few amount of movies by a director called Bela Tarr recently. And Bela Tarr's whole thing is his movies are nothing but long takes. And he'll do like a 10-minute long take, cut, 10-minute long take. And that doesn't feel any worse. Or in fact, it probably feels better because it doesn't feel gimmicky. It doesn't feel like you're trying to force a way for the camera to turn and suddenly times changed.
Yeah, that's about to say.
It cuts and the times, like, why not just do that? Like, Tar's films work great, you doing that. Why can't you do that? Especially, I don't know what it brings to it. There's no thematic or emotional reason to be one take. It adds nothing.
Other than be more pretentious.
Yeah. I think I think there's so many scenes that are kind of, I don't really know where they'll go. It doesn't really add up to much. I think it's Iñárritu's worst film.
Yeah, there's a few issues with the script. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of performances, Michael Keaton and Edward Norton, I both really like, and I both really like their characters as well.
Yeah.
Apart from Edward Norton's subplot with Emma Stone, which I don't really get. That was poor.
Emma Stone's great as well.
Yeah, good point.
I actually thought, like, two people that get overlooked, I think Zach Galifianakis is really on form.
I almost didn't recognise him.
Yeah, might be his best performance. And Naomi Watts is really good in it. But the thing so I watched Birdman, Naomi Watts is actress, right? And then I watched Mulholland Drive, like, 2 weeks later, which is Naomi Watts as an actress. And I just went, oh my god, she's so much better in Mulholland Drive. And I loved her in Birdman. I thought she was one of the best things in Birdman. So, I don't know. Like, it's fine. Didn't deserve to win. But just to clarify, I don't think Boyhood did either. So I think that year, both of the favourites were null.
I still really like Boyhood, but anyway, let's move on.
So last, in fact, not last podcast, in the pilot podcast, or this podcast, or whatever we want to call it, I mentioned that I was watching, I was on a Werner Fassbinder binge, the infamous German director. I finished off my DVD box set. So I watched my final two, which was The Merchant of Four Seasons, which is about a fruit seller who slowly loses his dignity and he faces multiple problems in his life. And there's a Petra von Kant, which is a very personal movie for Werner Fassbinder, who was famously a gay director who suffered with multiple drug problems. To say the least. Petra von Kant was a story about a woman who starts a relationship with a younger woman, and it all falls apart, and it's like the aftermath of that. They're both really good films. They're my favourite Fassbinder films I've seen thus far. If you really want transgressive, interesting German cinema, like, you can't beat it. It's like top class of like that era. It's, you know, like, it's like Gemma New Wave. It's probably the peak of that. Oh no, Aguirre Bath and God of the peak, but it's up there.
Okay,
that's just a shout. And then
last film, Ex Machina.
Yeah, that's Ex Machina.
I really like Ex Machina. So it's a very small scale sci-fi film which stars Donald Gleeson, Alicia Vikander, and
Oscar Isaac. Yeah,
Oscar Isaac.
And there's some other actress who I don't know.
But that's basically the cast. I thought it was a really well written film. Very nice small sci-fi. Alicia Vikander was amazing.
She was the best.
It was. I love the sort of how the pace of it increases so much as the film goes on. It's sort of there's reveal after reveal. I think Nerdwriter did a really interesting video essay on it of how the sort of the reveals, the sort of where they are in the script and how they become more frequent as the film goes on. I think it's a great performance, and I was the times where I felt very sort of uneasy. There's an air of mistrust amongst the characters as well, which I really liked.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon it was good. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I think probably even a great movie. I definitely think the twists were really good and the characters were really good. I think there's a couple of things. I do wonder how, the thing that really struck me about it was that it had this whole like twisted sci-fi edge to it, and and as much as it is twisted, I never really fully understood where it all was going. And I get that's kind of the point, but I feel like it's kind of sometimes I feel like it doesn't quite explain everything sufficiently. But once again, I can let that slide. I think he's definitely. I don't think Donald Gleason's that interesting a character. I think Oscar Isaac is sporadically weird. The thing that really struck me by it, I was sat there going, "Oh, this is just like a Beach in a Black Mirror episode."
Yeah.
And I love Black Mirror, so I was like, "Oh, I'm in for this." I didn't think it was. I actually thought it wasn't as twisted as I hoped it would be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really like my films. If you're gonna go twisted, you go full twisted. And I was a little bit, it's not quite as just fucked up as it could have been, but it was pretty good. I liked it.
But I like sort of how some bits of the, I say violence is some of the, were sort of done very sort of. It's all felt very clean. Like the whole setting felt very clean and sort of very futuristic, sort of futuristic, and I like that aesthetic. And then when it gets to the bits when blood starts coming and it's sort of all more clean, clean thing.
It's definitely very clinical. Okay, so I think that was a very long recap of films. I can guarantee next time it'll leave in a week, so we won't have to do 3 weeks worth of movies.
No.
And by the way, we missed out like 7. So mostly too bad they're online.
Yeah. Shall we talk about Logan?
Yeah, let's do it.
So first thing I was thought is, do you want to raise any spoiler or plot sensitive issues or points of view?
Yes. So problem 1. Like I think if there's one problem, it's not necessarily the problem that most kills the film, but in terms of percentage bad, I think the worst thing is generally the bad guys, but specifically X-24.
Yeah.
X-24 is utterly terrible.
Yeah.
He turns up, he's a Wolverine clone, right? What does he bring to the story?
I think the issue is, I feel they try to give Wolverine someone to fight with, but I don't want to see Wolverine clone, and his existence sort of detracts the purpose of the first bad guy, the Donald Pierce character.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, who do you want Wolverine's big rival to be? You know?
I mean, I feel like he fails thematically because they're going, he has to fight himself, he has to deal with himself. No, we've got X-23 who's a Wolverine clone. We don't need another, I feel like having a second Wolverine person doesn't help matters. He already has a person who is him to look to, and, the other thing is, in an action sense, I don't get why he couldn't just be fighting the dude with the metal arm. I don't get why he needed to be a clone.
No, considering he's introduced at the start of the film, you'd expect him to be the big rival, but towards the end of the film, he's pretty much degraded. He's reduced his. He's barely
in it, and his action isn't any better than any of the other stuff. So I don't know. To me, he's in terms of percentage just terrible. He's like 80% terrible. So he's the worst thing.
Well, you'll be happy to know he's written out of my rewrite.
Good. My other two big problem. The second problem will be the plot's just. Well, I have a general problem with just the whole script. I think one is exposition heavy. I feel like the whole there's a bit where he has the phone and someone just goes, "Here's what the bad guys are doing. I somehow have filmed every single aspect of the bad guys," and I started going, "Great exposition." No, like feeding it throughout the movie. Just one big 5-minute dump of everything.
There's also the fact that the phone loses charge halfway through, just for dramatic effect. We can't know all the exposition. We have to go for another action or another bit of the film just to start.
My other problem was that there's clearly the action was kind of forced in, because what happened was it'd be a case of they'd go to a setting, they'd have like the nice drama bits in the setting, and then have an action scene. So it's like they have a place on the Mexico border. They do stuff, action scene. Go to a hotel, do stuff, action scene. They go to a farm, do stuff, action scene. They get to Eden, do stuff, action scene.
Yeah.
Well, look.
It was a very repetitive structure.
Why can't they have a location where they spend a good amount of time and they don't end up with an action scene?
Yeah.
I didn't see why that always had to be action. And my final problem, I guess, is I thought I liked R-rated action. I think if you're going to make an action movie, you should go balls to the wall, R-rated, bloody, like bones cracking, bleeding. That's what I want. I want you to be the Raid. I want you to be the Raid 2. I want you to be Die Hard. I want you to be really, really nasty. But you can do all that, but you have to be aware that you're doing all that, and you can't. And you can't do all that and then have bits where characters go, "I don't like killing people." Because that doesn't work. Because then I just go, it's pretty weird that your film seems to be enjoying showing us people die.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of it. By the time the scenes come along where they talk about it, I'm desensitized. I'm like, I really don't... Like, I'm enjoying you stab people. I don't need to now tell me that's bad. Because it's clear the filmmakers enjoy stabbing people. Well, not, sorry. They enjoy showing Wolverine stabbing people.
Yeah.
Like, that clear... Like, if you're going to do that, you have to restrain it. You have to show not much violence. When it is violent, it's nasty. And then I'll believe you that these people don't want to kill, but they have to. When they just kill people all the time, it loses it for me. So that's my problems. How have you changed it?
So, first scene has changed. I want the first scene to start in the X-23 lab.
Okay. Right.
So you can show a little bit of the experiments or what's going on. You can introduce Xander, who's the doctor guy, and you can introduce, and I'll still keep Donald Pierce. So there'll be the only two primary like character villains. Xander's obviously just controls everything, mine, and Donald Pierce is the muscle, and is set up to be Wolverine's rival in action. Yeah. And so the first scene is the mutant children escaping.
Okay.
So that's which I feel is a good better way of getting around the whole exposition delivery. Just show it.
I think showing it is better than exposition delivery. I agree. My thing would be, the two arguments, of course, would be that one, Wolverine has to know all this happened. I feel like she has to tell him, and not just tell him in one dump. It needs to be drip fed, but also reduced in exposition. But what I was going to say was, I actually quite like how it opens with Logan. I don't know whether or not it's beneficial to not start with Logan.
I don't know, because I didn't like the first scene of the opening. Well, I liked everything after the whole section, per se. But this is the first scene where it's just a generic action scene of him being up with a few other guys in the dark, showing, giving us a few glimpses of the violent action. That to me I wasn't that excited by that. That doesn't.
Personally, the action I could do without, but I did think opening with him just clearly being a decrepit...
Yeah, that is included. Sorry.
Okay, sorry, go ahead then.
Sure, go. So, so that's first sort of action scene. They're escaping with all the other mutant children. During the action, in the thick of the action, one of her mutant child friends sort of helps her getting out of a sticky situation, but in the process, X-23 accidentally hurts that mutant 23, and this is so that friend is left injured, and that's one of the main things. Is because I feel the problem with X-23 and Wolverine is they're both indestructible. Yeah. And the whole thing about X-23 is that she's reckless and dangerous. Yeah. And can cause harm to other people around her, including friends and allies, because she's just rage and can't control her powers.
That's a good thing. I think. Yeah, actually, they never really deal.
Because that's why I feel they should have gone, and she gives us something to learn.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
And at the end of the result was she gets somehow, I haven't figured out specifically why, but she gets separated from the rest of the group.
Yeah, okay.
But they're sort of, before I'm sort of general the idea that the group all the mutants had a meeting spot, which is in Eden.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna try and be quick. So she's now on her own, wandering on her own. So you can almost do a lie in this thing, but we won't go into that. Yeah, you could do that. Sort of. Then you can have the Logan Xavier section, which is pretty much the same as it was done in the film, but you could
like all limo stuff as well, all that stuff. Yeah.
But you could take out things like that nurse and how he first meets with Donald Pierce. I think that was a bit just that was sort of plot was a bit didn't really need to be there really. It was just sort of plot, bogged down by plot. So have that thing, it's carrying. The one little adjustment I would like to make is Xavier having a little bit more dementia, and sort of asking things. Oh, where's Jean? Where's Cyclops? Where's my children?
Like more references.
Yeah, a little bit more reference. Well, not necessarily reference, but it's just more. He doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't quite understand how all the mutants have gone, but he's wondering where they are, and still thinks they're alive, but they're all dead.
I feel like one strength of Logan is the detachment. I don't because it's clearly not so connected to the X-Men universe. Yeah. I don't know whether or not having more direct references is beneficial.
But I feel it's just a natural question if you're suffering from dementia and you doesn't know someone that you care about. Oh yeah, it's just something I'll ask and makes Logan, because Logan knows what happened.
Yeah,
and Xavier doesn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so Logan says, "Oh, they're gone." And then in the midst of that, Xavier sort of telepathically detects where X-23.
Right.
And in the moment when X-23 is sort of lost, they don't know where to go. And Charles, being...
I mean, can he do that? Doesn't need Cerebro? And there's Caliban anyway.
Yeah, but that's why I thought, so, and he sort of, because I always like how Xavier's all about looking after children, looking after, and trying to find a home place. So, tells her to come to where they are.
Yeah.
So that's how they all meet. When they all meet, basically, all those three characters sort of, X-23 wants to go to the Eden place, and Wolverine doesn't because he wants to not, take a risk, be exposed. But Xavier feels he wants to because Xavier's excited about the idea of other mutants, all that kind of stuff.
I can kill them too.
Yeah, and so they're in that same place, and then the bad guys do find them. I think of this is a slight annoying plot convenience, but I think the X-23, all the mutant children would be the bad guys' place when they were bringing them like a tracker, like just to find them.
Okay.
That's just to how they find them, just something like that, which would make sense considering they're breeding their weapons and whatnot and stuff. So they find them, led by Donna Pierce, the cybernautic guy. That's what they have to.
Well, you've really gone into detail here.
yeah. This might take a bit of time.
No, go on.
Fight scene and I can't read my. And so in the fight scene, where you get to see sort of, obviously this is possibly the first time we see Wolverine fight. Might find this earlier section, but there'll be a moment when Pierce does a significant wound on Wolverine.
Right.
And then in the middle of their escape, that the Wolverine, while tending to his wounds, sees that this wound isn't healing. Like it's not that. I think that wasn't quite shown as well as it could have been, potentially.
I mean, it does heal. It just takes much longer.
Yeah, I know, but I feel there could be a little bit more visual show. Like just have a significant wound that it has a bit of focus on in the middle of the action. And then you looked at it later. Okay.
I mean, just early thing. Like I, like all of these seem perfectly good to me. I actually think generally the first, like this whole section in the beginning was perfectly fine to me. I didn't think it needed radical rewrites.
I mean, this isn't too radical. I'm generally like keeping most of the Xavier and Logan stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm sort of skipping through bits that I agree with. Yeah. And you still have that, but slight adjustments.
Yeah.
And obviously, Caliban isn't in my script because...
Oh, okay.
I don't... Well, I just don't... I like him in the film, but I don't really want... I'd sort of like to...
Oh, it's superfluous.
He's still a little bit superfluous.
Yeah.
And I just...
I think
he's a good presence, I don't deny that.
Yeah.
But personally, I don't really want to...
Right, okay.
I want to, limit it to less characters. And then so after the escape... Pierce reports back to Xander and says, Xavier's also with them. And that catches Xander's attention.
I'm sorry, every time you say Xander, I just think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Sorry. And then, so cuts to that. So audience is thinking, why is he so interested in Xavier?
Yeah.
Okay. So, stop. And then you can sort of go to sort of follows sort of similar along the lines that you go to that hotel place.
Do all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it generally follows on as in Wolverine's apart from them, and then the soldiers guy finds Professor X and X-23, and in that moment the soldiers sort of manage to restrain X-23 in my thing, and Xander, the doctor's actually there and talks to Professor X, and it's revealed that Xander's child or son was one of the Professor X's students, was a mutant, one of Professor X students. And in the whole things that when other mutants, obviously, which in the same thing in the film, that Professor X killed, inadvertently killed them all.
Yeah.
And was killed his child. Just to add that, and so in that incident, Xander's son was killed.
Right. Okay.
So it just adds an extra layer of connection or reason why. Interested. And Xavier's sort of confused because he's not aware that he killed them, and because Wolverine's specifically protecting that information away from him.
Yeah,
it's good. And then Xavier has the seizure, and then you have pretty much a similar.
Right. Okay.
But the only slight exception is that within the struggle, X-23 accidentally wounds Xavier.
Okay.
to
Can I
follow.
just also call this out? There's bits in that section
Yeah.
where like Wolverine like clearly doesn't have to kill the people,
Mhm.
and he does because like, they're all like stuck. Like,
Yeah.
he could just like take their guns
Yeah.
and like stab and
Yeah.
stab them in the legs or they trip over. But
Yeah.
no, he just like murders them, and then he
Yeah.
moans them on about killing people. I'm like,
Yeah.
bitch, please, you just murdered
Yeah.
people who didn't have to.
Yeah.
But
move on.
so change that as well.
In the struggle, they manage to escape.
Right.
Xavier bleeding, obviously, and he's questioning during the car, like questioning Wolverine. What did I do? You know, all that kind of stuff. And Wolverine's trying to deny all that stuff. And they're trying immediately. First thing to go to a hospital, obviously because it's bleeding. But then the other guys, the bad guys, have already got men there, so it just has a little bit of extra tension. And they have to keep going and decide. Best thing is just head towards the end. And on the road, so on the road, Wolverine sort of argues with X-23 for being reckless and just all that kind of stuff. And in that point, Xavier is just still trying to calm those two down. And then so then you have the house farm scene comes in a similar way. This is a little cheat as well. They're saying like because sort of farm sort of off the grid type of area, the radar doesn't, or the detector tracker doesn't quite.
Right. Okay.
That's just a little cheat, but that could be slightly moved because I just wanted the house to be more of a safe haven.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
it
what I
should have
wanted.
been. It should have been there for an action.
Yeah.
It should have been there for
a nice safe haven
for a
where you
drama
can have.
scene.
Yeah. So that's what I thought to have, and as sort of Logan puts Xavier to rest, X-23 sort of pesters Logan and says, what happened? Because she's been reading more comments and wants to know also what happens to all the mutants.
Yeah.
And that's when Logan's frustrated, but sort of tells her you can have that visually shown. And then it moved on to sort of Logan sort of feels he should teach X-23 to sort of control her powers.
Right.
Yeah. So that's sort of could have that, and I'm not quite sure how this. So I think, and then the next sort of stage is X-23 sort of finally convince Logan to tell Charles what happened.
Right. Okay.
And so he tells Charles, and sort of Charles has this sort of sad scene. I tried to protect mutants, and he feels sort of guilt and frustration of what his presence has caused and what it could cause and how much harm. And and this is a bit of a controversial thing. Us to be euthanized.
Oh, okay. Right.
You could, I know it's
right
because I always feel like Logan's just trying to keep Charles alive. Yeah. You can picture that if you want.
And then they go to court. And
no, not that. It's just Charles just feels like I'm old. I want to.
Yeah.
I'm suffering. I'm becoming more of a burden.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And Logan finds it difficult because he's been feeling, once. So that's a little bit I'm unsure, whether to go that far or not.
No.
All right, fine. You don't like it.
No, I mean it's fine. I feel like you're putting way too much emphasis on Professor X. I would definitely cut the. I would increase Professor X's presence maybe, but I wouldn't put so much emphasis on Professor X. I want this.
You don't have that to have that happen, but in any way, I made it sort of change it so that only Logan and X-23 leave the house and decide to go and continue to Eden.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I can add the sort of thing in the comic books, which I am sort of not sure where to put, like Logan's feeling, making talk to Professor X as saying, I feel this could be a fictional place and I don't want to upset it, all that kind of stuff. So you can have that element can be added. There's this other random thing that you could add if you wanted a little bit more action, is that once they've left the house, then they're ambushed, just as because they've been trying. When she goes back onto the radar, basically, and you could have this. This is a little bit. And in this sort of action scene, they're all still driving. X-23 sort of forced to drive, and Logan has to fight, and X-23 sort of doesn't drive very well, causes more problems. Yeah, tension, and then so. Once they go escape, then obviously Logan's tired and sort of. This is really sort of teaches her to drive. I kind of wanted to teach her to drive, so I wanted a few more father and daughter things.
Yeah, they never really went to the full potential.
That's why I was trying to add a few.
However, I don't feel the need for another action scene.
Huh?
I don't feel the need for another action scene.
Yeah, no. I mean, you don't necessarily need that.
I mean, you're taking the one at the house out, but I feel like adding one into a place that is not something I wouldn't want either.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I just add. That doesn't really need to be there. It's just adds a little extra mini arc.
Okay.
But they get to Eden, and they find that all the mutant children have died.
Have been died.
Sorry, have been killed.
Yeah.
Have been killed. You know, they've sort of got there,
Right.
And that's when X-23 breaks down and collapses, and that's upset and crying, and that's Wolverine's chance to comfort her, and that's when the father
Give her a hug.
Give her a hug. Well, no, that's the sort of
That'd be the least Wolverine thing.
Yeah, but no, you have to show that.
Yeah,
That's the thing you want to show, because that's what I feel was lacking for the father and daughter things. They put it too late when he was dying, and they should have had it before he was dying.
Yeah, and then he goes off to the government, like, can I get an adoption form?
And then I'll be very quick. Then I'm not quite sure quickly, but the final finale happens there.
Yeah.
Bad guys catch up and
Fight.
Yeah. There's one bit. There's obviously main rival conflict between Logan and Donald Pierce.
Yep. I guess Logan dies.
Not quite, not yet.
Okay.
So what happens is sort of in midway through, like X-23 sort of gets really attacked and then that just sets Wolverine on a massive rampage. A sort of fatherly protectiveness goes in, and that's when he's sort of that's when you see Wolverine at pure high level violence.
Yeah.
And in the struggle, sort of, then it's all left. Don gets killed by them two together, and then it's just left with Xander, and sort of all Wolverine wants is just make it free, just get rid of the tracking thing, and then move on. But Wolverine's still critically injured from the rampage, and then sort of X-23 try and drive them back to that house type of thing. Midway through the drive, Wolverine's sort of about to die, basically. Final words, very sort of thing. But she still continues to the house, and the family takes care of her. So I wanted the ending of her being with the family, and not with a group of mutants, because I think it's better that she finds a home. Because I thought that's what Xavier wanted, to have a home, to have a true family. So that's basically how I rewrite.
Okay. To me, I thought you would change a little bit. That's a very radical and expensive rewrite of your dream Logan movie. Okay, yeah. I mean, generally, I guess I don't know. I feel like you've generally improved it. I wouldn't say you've sorted out all my problems. I definitely don't think the Professor X thing needed to emphasize that much. Even ignoring the euthanasia, I feel like less of that. I feel like generally speaking, my problem. I also feel like the second half needed is the thing where the changes most. The second half is the worst part of the actual movie, so I feel like that needs the most changes.
I mean, I generally kept with the general plot line. But I just.
I mean, those sort of things I can see. Like, I feel like definitely in terms of plot, you got rid of stuff like X-24. I feel like the thematics are still there. The family stuff and the raising X-23 stuff doesn't come across as well as it could do. So I definitely see putting more of that in as an improvement in general. But yeah, if I was just basically editing Logan, I would take out the actual scene at the farm. Would be my big step. Remove X-24. Pretty much keep the first half the same. And basically just make the violence less bloody in general, but make it bloody one in every 5 stab bloody, as opposed to every stab. So that's way it's impactful, but it's not constant. It doesn't desensitize. It doesn't feel like James Mangold's reveling in. I do blood. No. You show blood, but you're not always showing it. It's sometimes nasty, but it isn't always nasty.
So I didn't like the way Professor X died in the film. It didn't look. One, I was confused. It was a dream sequence. 2, it was also done at the same time where he sort of recollects that memory thing, which I feel like the two things kind of clashed and didn't follow through. Like, I was almost confused. Like, what was that true, or was that? There were just two very different ideas sort of meshed too close together. So that's my issue with it.
I think.
And I just generally wanted the thing that Wolverine cared for him and wants to keep him alive. And feels like Professor X is doing more harm than good. And gets old age and stuff like that.
Well, this has been a very, very long not long. This has been a very packed podcast. And I feel we should try and
sign off.
Try and sign off, and also not load ourselves up too heavy next time. Try and keep it a bit more contained. Okay, so in this sprawling mess of a podcast, which I imagine barely anyone's listening to, but well done if you have got this far and you care. Thank you.
for listening.
And
And we'll be here next week.
Yay! I mean, yeah, I look forward to it. So, okay, bye.
Bye.
I guess.